Okay, so they keep giving me more information about my Amy Eskridge tie-in to how hearing her talk about her channels about the future aliens that they were in contact with. And she was a scientist for anti-gravity research. Yeah, because that's literally like what the aliens have in the future, so they probably were channeling with her. And they told her that they were like aliens from the future, like, and they called themselves P-47s and P-52s. And I got channels about how the aliens are us from the future, but specifically the seventh dimension. And I've been told how a cycle of Earth is 26,000 years. And she talks about how P stands for present, and then the numbers are how many years away from us that the future humans are that have contacted her. And those mathematically align with my channels about if it was in the seventh dimension, because 2 cycles would be around like 52,000 years. Exactly. So it's like, that is the craziest thing. So then they were like, yeah, but so then they told me about how, they've been seeding our subconscious for our entire childhoods with in TV shows and movies and stuff like that, getting us ready for open contact, getting us ready for the future. They like left little things for this time right now. And one of those things is this P-52 thing. And they put that in the address in the movie Finding Nemo, which is symbolic of the journey back to God and Christ, because it's a father trying to find his son, right? And it's us, God fractals, right? The father finding the son, which is Christ, but it's Christ consciousness instead, again. And that's how we save the world and, move on into the future, is by adopting Christ consciousness, because it's the antidote to the Matrix right now. And the manipulation is Christ's teachings, is compassion, kindness, understanding, forgiveness. We're all one. We need to treat everybody with compassion and understanding, and we need to stand up against the systems of oppression and all that stuff. And then you go to the book of Revelations. So then this number 7 is like coming around a lot. So then I got this channel about how group 7, that was another thing that they left for us to remind us and, again, prepare us and connect us back to the fact that it is us from the future, from the 7th dimension. And like all these people on TikTok randomly, like months ago, got into this like group 7 situation. And then in the book of Revelations, when you go there, 7 is all over the book of Revelations. It's like the 7 cities and the 7 trumpets that sound, and our freaking president, his name is Trump right now, and all this crazy stuff. So then they brought it back to me where they're like, okay, and your name is ASAP Krusty 777 on here. And I'm like, that's interesting. Because I generated that name like years ago when I first got this TikTok. Like, I don't even know, like 2021, I want to say, or something like that. And instead of ASAP Rocky, the rapper, it generated ASAP Krusty. And I was like, oh my gosh, that's perfect. And then I put the number 777 because 7 has been my favorite number my whole life. So then all these synchronicities are lining with that number 7. And then they told me that another seeded transmission that they left for us, otherwise known as an Easter egg, was the fact that people tied the license in the show SpongeBob to Jeffrey Epstein's island. Right? A lot of us, but that's been around for like a minute here. So the next thing they gave me was the Finding Nemo shit with the P-52, now with Amy Eskridge and her channels and all that. And then come back to me, ASAP Krusty. They're like, the reason why we did Krusty, because I just thought it was funny. That's literally why I picked it, because I thought it was like literally hilarious. Because like that's kind of how I feel I am. Like I can be like crusty sometimes. Like I don't know. I just have like greasy hair and I pimple cream and I don't shower every day or stuff like that, like hippie shit. I don't know. And also I just feel like that's like my personality. So anyway, I was like, it is like so perfect fitting. they're like, well, we're going to tie that back to the Krusty Krab and the Krabby Patty secret formula, which is Christ consciousness and finding God through this time. And that's how I align back to SpongeBob, is it's tying back to my channels to like confirm to me that I am one of the channelers of, you know, like the aliens and the future and these downloads that I'm getting, these seeded transmission, these Easter eggs, like all this stuff. They're like, yeah, you have, you know, one of the channels for the main Krusty Krab secret formula. So that's the other thing, is like, why did they repeat P-52, Wallaby Way, Sidney Sherman did like 60 times in, you know, in Finding Nemo? And why did they, you know, why is the Krusty Krab secret formula, like that Krabby Patty secret formula, like that's like something that like we all like remember, you know, like that episode of like the robot, you know, where they're like Krusty Krab pizza. No, that's a different one. But anyway, Krabby Patty secret formula is the robot one, which is also crazy because, you know, robots, the future. So that's what I'm saying. Like, they're just giving, like, all... I'm like, holy crap. Is this making sense to you guys? I'm sorry. Like, this is just, like... This has been, like, one of the biggest ones that they, like, tied all together. And then they, like, tied it back to my name that I chose 4 years ago. Like, it's, like, that's how they've been seeding our reality. They've been seeding our reality this way. So there's... And I talk about all sorts of seeded transmissions. Like, mostly children's movies, like Spirited Away and... SpongeBob is also part of it, and, you know, like, all this stuff. I'm just like, this is, like, getting so crazy, but I'm like, this actually makes so much sense to me. And so that's also why my number, you know, my name had 7 in it, and, like, that's been my favorite number my whole life, because, again, I was going to be here to orient people to the fact that open contact is going to occur, and it's just us from the 7th dimension, so there's nothing to be afraid of, but that this is actually going to happen. So, I'm like, every day, I'm convinced more and more of this shit. I'm like, what? This is like, again, there's no such thing as coincidences. Like, this is the synchronicities. This is what they've been doing. And they've told me about, seeded transmissions for, like, I don't know, months now. I don't think I got that till, like, a couple months into my channeling. I didn't get the seeded transmission thing. Like, they didn't tell me about it. But... it's so cool that it now ties back to my name and the numbers in my name and the Group 7 thing that we all were a part of. It's all, like, leading us back home to the same thing. Christ, because, like, we're the light workers. So, like, that's the thing about it, is, like, we are, all of us, and that's, again, something that I get channeled, is that, like, we are Jesus. We're the light workers. We're Jesus. We are from that time. Plus, we're also in future ascensions, which I've gotten. And then that mathematically lines up to Amy's channels with the exact mathematical years that it would be to ascensions from now. And I've been told that we only come down here during ascension, and we do come down here during descension periods as well. But that's not relevant right now because we're in an ascension period. And again, that's what the Bible manipulated. They said that ascension was just one man and it was like this 3-day thing, but it's really actually like a whole fucking horde of human souls that shift over the whole world into a different dimensional awareness. And this is actually just a natural part of, like, you know, Mother Gaia's soul contract process. Just like we have certain soul contracts, like we were born to our parents and then we go to this school and we meet this person and then this is our partner and then all these, like, little nodes in our soul contract and stuff. Same thing. I'm like, this is so cool. I love this. This has been great. Like, this one has been, like, the most mind-blowing so far. Like, it makes so much sense to me. It's like this, like, the red string theory, you know, like the guy, you know, that from I think it's Park and, you know, like, where he's, like, with the red string. Anyway. Crazy. I feel like I'm in CSI Miami, and I used to love those shows. Like, these clue shows or Forensic Files. It's because I was going to be, like, finding these, like, little hints and clues and stuff someday. Like, Blue's Clues, which is also another thing that we had as children. And Dora, and finding all this stuff. All these little Easter eggs. We had, oh my god, guys. I could go on to this for years.